Part of the thing that makes a character frightening is how the game portrays the character. It could be their look or personality, but when it comes down to it, it still adds up to a pretty frightening experience. So today I'm going to make a list of the top 15 most frightening characters in video games. And yes, I am including characters from horror games. The rules are as follows: 1 per franchise, and for this list I'm taking out the play before put rule. And just to tell you, these aren't necessarily scary characters, these are just frightening. Scary characters just scare you. Frightening characters seem intimidating to the player. So just to make it clear, yes, I have heard of a lot of characters that would be eligible for the list. This is mostly just my opinion. So yeah. Alright, let's begin. The Clock Tower series was filled with heaps of moments that would scare the crap out of you. Most of the plot was based on you trying to save your friends from a haunted house, and if you weren't careful enough, they would die. Apparently there was one character that contributed to all of this, and he would appear when you least expected it. That's right, I'm talking about the Scissor Man. The Scissor Man, as depicted from his name, wields a giant pair of scissors and will try to chase you around the house several times throughout the game. He doesn't stop until you lose track of him, so if you're not ready, he can actually catch up to you really quick. Just seeing that pair of scissors rise up out of the water alone is just enough to give you one heck of a fright. The only thing that keeps him from getting any higher on the list is that he does move really slowly, making him really easy to hide from. But what the hell? He's holding a pair of scissors. Scissors are dangerous.
Oh! Run! Run! I'm coming for you!
I don't help people. I kill them.
Jack Kamen, the protagonist of Mad World, is one interesting case. He's been assigned to become the top fighter in a program called Deathwatch. And what makes him an intimidating character is not just his weapon of choice, which is a chainsaw, but because he does not let anything get in his way. He will literally defeat anyone in any way possible, including blasting someone into a nearby volcano, electrifying someone until they explode, and spanking a vampire. I don't even. Either way, you do not want to mess with someone like this. He doesn't think about the consequences, he just does it anyways. Travis Touchdown, you've met your match.
You gotta be shitting me!
Rise and shine. Not that I wish to imply you have been sleeping on the job. No one is more deserving of a rest, and all the effort in the world would have gone to waste until... well, so wake up, Mr. Freeman. Wake up and smell the ashes.
Part of the reason that I remember Half-Life 2 is because of this guy. G-Man is probably one of the most frightening characters in video game history because of how he appears literally everywhere. G-Man has the ability to interfere with people's minds and make their visions look quite weird. The G-Man is also able to pause or slow down time and teleport anywhere at any time he chooses. But we all know him for having that cold-hearted stare. Speaking of cold-hearted stare characters, there's another one, but that comes later down the line on the list. The Slender Man is probably the most well-known creepypasta of all time, being the fuel of many theories, stories, and even YouTube channels based on the Slender Man's existence. The Slender Man is well known for having a blank white face, showing no expression whatsoever. He also has several tentacles which he will use to hypnotize his victims. The Slender Man is also known for hunting mostly at night, which is what his game portrays as well. In Slender the 8 pages, you were given the task of collecting 8 pages in the dark, with only a flashlight to help you. However, the flashlight will eventually run out of battery, and you can only run for a short time before you get tired. If you move too slow, then the Slender Man will eventually find you. It will scare the living crap out of you. Seriously, the reactions are hilarious. But when you play it, my god is it scary. And if you haven't played this game, play it now. Play it now! Damn it, lost again. Let me tell you guys something. I am not a fan of the Mortal Kombat series. But for you guys, that's perfectly fine, right?
No. No. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. No. 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 No.
Alright, I don't hate the Mortal Kombat series, but it's just never been my thing. And as such, I don't know about a lot of characters. Apart from the obvious Scorpion or Sub-Zero, I don't know a lot. And as such, it would be hard for me to choose the most frightening. However, after looking up some of the characters, I agreed on one, and it's from Mortal Kombat 9. And that's Melina. Now I know what you're thinking. Melina isn't scary at all. She's not scary, she's not frightening. What the hell is it? Seriously, developers, I know this is an M-rated game, but this is just disgusting. Whose idea was it to make this character? Whose idea? Oh well, the world has a lot of weird things. First off, this is a frightening character because, well, just look. And let's not forget that finisher. The Zelda series is quite well known for having a lot of disturbing characters. I could have easily chosen any character from the series, including Tingle, Blitzetta, or maybe even... But no, I decided to go for something a little bit obvious. Majora's Mask is one hell of a messed up character. In case you haven't noticed, Majora's Mask is a mask. But not just any type of mask. Majora's Mask was a mask with such power, the ancients had to seal it away in order to stop it from being misused. But apparently the happy mask salesman, as mentioned before, took the mask and kept it as his own. Later, what appears to be one of the antagonists, Skull Kid, came over and stole the mask while the mask salesman was sleeping. However, when the Skull Kid wore the mask, his personality changed quite a bit from the mask's power, and thus the mask was pretty much just using Skull Kid as a puppet. But the real reason he's on this list is because of how subtle he is. He shows no emotion whatsoever, like the Slender Man, but he never actually talks, until the final moment where Majora decides to detach from the Skull Kid and goes all berserk. I mean really, a mask with soul-piercing eyes decides to destroy the world. And as if that wasn't frightening enough, the final battle. That's right, Majora turns into various forms, including some sort of genderless humanoid with pulsating limbs, with a blood-curdling screech that moonwalks, and then some sort of... I can't... Our next spot goes to Alma Wade from the Fear series. Constantly throughout the game, she pops up at random times, making her quite the scare point. Even if it is just child Alma, or adult Alma, it still makes it quite the frightening character. But first off, let's talk about her backstory. As a child, Alma Wade had psychic powers, and her father put her in a test chamber in order to test them. This went all fine until she was 5 years old, where she started to fail the tests on purpose. Skipping to the end, she sets the whole place on fire, and then escapes. She also gave birth to one of the main protagonists, and the reason that she pops up throughout the game is to take revenge on him, which is probably why she appears all the time. When she does appear in the game, it only lasts for about a split second. I mean, you're just walking along in the corridor and then suddenly BOOM! She later took full control over the protagonist's mind later, convincing ATC to completely shut down Project Origin, therefore causing her death. To be honest, all of this summed up makes for a great yet startling character.
Finally, the seal is broken.
Metroid Fusion is... Wait. Try again. Metroid Fusion is... What's that noise? I put the SAX up on the spot for a reason. The SAX is pretty much an X-parasite that infected Samus's power suit and is using it to destruct something. I don't know. I don't remember much of Metroid Fusion, probably because I only played it when I was about 6. Anyways, the SAX appears various times throughout the game, just like the other entries on this list, except the SAX can actually deal damage to you. If it sees you once, it will immediately destruct you. In fact, it's so spontaneous that even the message itself, saying the SAX is tracking you, is enough to give you quite a scare. You need to find heaps of secret passages in order to escape from it, and the panicky music that plays when it appears will make you panic. Whether you've played Metroid Fusion or not, this character sends the shock levels up to 100% guaranteed.
Finally, the seal is broken.
The next guy on our list is called the Master. No, really, that's his name. The Master. Definitely not as much of a master as me. Ha 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 ha. No. The Master, in my opinion, is an excellent antagonist for the series. Not much is known about him. You don't know whether he's good or evil. It's pretty much up to you to decide. Now, while that may be the reason that he's only number 6, since he doesn't have a lot of character development, he does give a very interesting approach to the series. The Master is a FEV mutated creature, from what I can read, who has a rather unique way of speaking.
So what shall it be? Do you join the Unity, or do you die here?
Join.
Die!
Join.
Die! Oh, please, what sort of plan might that be?
Strangely enough, the Master is actually very intelligent, and he shows this off in the final battle by using his psychic powers. In fact, he actually used to be a human once, called Richard, and blah blah blah, his backstory is not that interesting. In fact, the only reason he's on this list is because of his grotesque look, and his voice, and his grotesque look. Reminds me a bit of Psycho Mantis, Gygus, and GLaDOS put together in one nutshell. Yeah, that's just about it.
Finally, the seal is broken.
Gygus is a frightening character. I've explained this before. Enough said. Goodbye.
Finally, the seal is broken.
This entry can be summed up in just one clip. Rated E for everyone.
At long last, I'll be able to join with you.
Our next spot on the list belongs to someone who is immortal. That's Albedo Piazzolla from the Xenosaga series. First off, the guy's a psychopath. He is also able to regenerate limbs, which adds to the fact that he can live forever. But what gets him up at number 4 is his backstory. He has an excellent backstory. As a child, Albedo had the same ability to regenerate limbs like he did, but he was a bully to his other brothers. However, he only bullied them because he thought they could regenerate limbs as well, but apparently they told him they couldn't. So, you know what that means? Albedo was left to live alone.
No! I don't want to be alone! If you died, I want to die too!
While the people around him constantly grew older and eventually passed away. Albedo, on the other hand, had his emotions stirred up like crazy, and therefore became the psychopath we see him as today. However, what also puts him up at this spot on the list is his behavior. He resorts to tearing off his own limbs for fun. Not only that, but he also rips off his own head. I guess you could say, this guy's really lost his head.
At long last, I'll be able to join with you.
Are you scared of clowns? Are you scared of Dead Rising? Are you scared of chainsaws? Are you scared of psychomaniacal evil laughs? If everything that I just mentioned scares you, then the next entry on this list is not the right one for you. In this case, Adam the Clown. You see, Adam the Clown was supposed to guard a ride and he was an entertainer. But since the infection killed off all of the kids, it is his duty to protect the ride from being shut down. As I said before, he is a chainsaw juggling clown from Dead Rising with a psychomaniacal evil laugh. Now if that doesn't scare you, then that's pretty weird.
If the line stops, then the zombies come back, and that won't be any fun at all!
But everybody knows the reason that this would be on the list, and that's because of his death. If that didn't disturb you or frighten you in the least, get yourself over to a hospital and sign up to a doctor. You might not be feeling well. Just that one cutscene alone was enough to get him at number 3 on this spot. I don't care what you say, it's disturbing!
At long last, I'll be able to join with you.
Remember GLaDOS? Have you ever wondered what came before GLaDOS?
Mr. Johnson.
Before that, here we go, System Shock. In case you don't know, GLaDOS wasn't the first robot AI to guide you through a game. Probably one of the first AIs came from System Shock 2. Now, Rabbit Luigi explained this pretty well in his top 15 most shocking moments, so I don't really want to repeat too much of what he said. But basically, on a simple point, there's an AI killing off everyone on the ship, and to help you throughout the game is Dr. Polito. However, just between where the game starts and halfway through the game, you find Dr. Polito dead, having committed suicide because the AI was revealed to her. And the AI is definitely no hilarious robot. Hell no. In fact, it's something completely unexpected.
The Polito form is dead, insect. Are you afraid? What is it you fear?
The end of your trivial existence.
When the history of my glory is written, your species shall only be a footnote to my magnificence. Showdown.
Yeah. You've probably already realized it before, but Shodan is one scary motherfucker. Some of the other characters on the list just appear at random times. Shodan, on the other hand, does appear randomly, but seems to only appear at the times where you feel the most alone or uncomfortable. I feel that this has the more fright factor in it. She was known as the girl who wanted to be God, but instead became the next best thing, a creepy robot face. Just, seriously, I almost shit my pants when I saw this.
Look at you, hacker. pathetic creature of meat and bone, panting and sweating as you run through my corridors. How can you challenge a perfect, immortal machine?
Time to recap. Number 15, Scissorman. Number 14, Jack Kamen. Number 13, G-Man. Number 12, Slender Man. Number 11, Melina. Number 10, Majora's Mask. Number 9, Alma Wade. Number 8, SAX. Number 7, The Master. Number 6, Gygus. Number 5, The Necromorphs. Number 4, Albedo Piazzolla. Number 3, Adam McIntyre. And number 2, Shodan.
It's time for the final curtain call.
Number 1 on this list comes from one of the greatest horror games of the century. It combines everything that the last 5 entries on this list did. It is shocking, disturbing, insane, grotesque, and most of all, frightening. To put it quite simply, the Pyramid Head from Silent Hill 2. Nothing can simply put into serious words about how much the Pyramid Head deserves the number 1 spot on this list. The entire basis of Silent Hill 2 revolves around James Sunderland coming to the town of Silent Hill after the decease of his wife Mary, after she died from a virus. But several times throughout the game, several people are killed by Pyramid Heads, in probably some of the most disturbing ways possible. And for me to describe what they look like, it would be pretty obvious. I mean, their heads are pyramids, and they also hold giant sword-like weapons that drag across the floor. Now that might seem that there's all there is to say, but there's actually a whole lot more to the story. In the middle of the game, James finds a tape. He puts it into the tape player and he starts to watch the film. However, it's no ordinary film. James watches the tape to see Mary. However, what we get from the tape is that Mary didn't die from a virus. In fact, the actual truth is that James Sunderland actually killed Mary. It's such a massive shock to the player. However, to James, this is only a reminder of his mistake. How does this link to the Pyramid Head? Well, it is later revealed that the Pyramid Head was created to punish James for what he had done. It's such a big moment for the game, and you would think that the main serial killers of the game are just doing it just for the sake of a horror game. But in fact, no. The reason that the Pyramid Head kills off the other characters is to punish James by killing off the people that he recently interacted with. From the information that I just gave you, you should probably know why I consider this to be the number 1 most frightening character in video game history. I am MasterJakeStudios, and I can't think of anything to say.
Happy birthday, whoop-de-doo, whoop-de-doo.